Rabbitohs Radio Podcast, the number one source for everything South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Welcome to another edition of Rabbitohs Radio. My name is Grant Chappell. I'm joined by my loyal co-host and friend, Darren Browny Brown, and Big Lez from Big Lez's Rugby League Podcast. What's doing, boys?
Yeah, g'day, boys, and g'day to all the viewers and the listeners out there who are listening via podcast. Not long, boys. It's Christmas time.
I know, nearly Christmas, nearly at 1,000 subscribers too. We're going really well at the moment.
Yeah, we're kicking along just nice. I bought me Charity Shield tickets today, bought 10 online, so we're locked and loaded, the Chappell family and another family of ours cruising up that way in February. I'm looking forward to it.
It's always a great weekend out there at Mudgee, the Charity Shield. And just going back to the subscribers, Les, if you do enjoy this show, please subscribe. We are chasing that 1,000 subscriber number, and we're not too far away. We had a goal to get it done by Christmas, and hopefully we will hit that number by Christmas time.
100%.
Yeah,
like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.
If you want to get those Charity Shield tickets, it's 123tix. That's tix.com.au if you want to drop on. Get some tickets out of their Charity Shield. $28 to get in for adults, 18 for kids.
Speaking of tickets, lads, I was trying to get some Drake tickets over the weekend. They're $570 a pop.
Drake? Who's Drake?
Highway
You don't know who Drake is?
No, I'm not a music man.
Oh, mate.
He's Big Drake. Yeah.
Not your time?
I'm a bit Leo Sayo.
Yeah.
Pointer Sisters.
He's a bad man, Drake.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Maybe I should get to know him.
The young fellas and the Sheelers will be lining up. Don't worry about that to get in there. Brownie, we had a spa event last week at Coogee Bay Hotel. Bit of a Merry Christmas to all the former South players. Very well attended. Over 120 attended, I believe.
Yeah, it was a great night there, celebrating with all the former players, the current squad. A number of them were there as well. All the new players were there. Lewis Dodd was there and Ewan Aiken. So we had a couple of drinks. Well put together by the spa organisation, led by Steve McDermott, Sean Garlick, Shannon Donato, a number of committee members there as well. Troy Slattery was there. A number of former players as well. So, yeah, it was good to catch up. An old coach of mine, Steve Sims, came over from England, the UK, and, it was good to catch up with him as well.
I heard a former player. I reckon he's the most recent former player to ever turn up to one of these spa events. Lockie Ilias turned up. He only left the club about 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's got to be a record for a spa event.
Yeah, well done to Lockie turning up.
Champion.
Yeah, exactly. And he was there with Campbell Graham and, look, still good mates and probably close mates to a lot of the players here at the Rabbitohs. And, it was good to see Lockie there.
Yeah, good. That's what the club's all about, making everyone feel welcome and still be a part of the club, whether you played for them in 1960 or 1995, it doesn't matter.
Well, the old saying, once a Rabbitoh, always a Rabbitoh.
100%. Hashtag that one too, guys. All right, we're going to have a little chat about wingers, the depth in the wing position. It's obviously a hotly contested position this year. There's not a lot of guys in the full-time squad that are genuine out-and-out wingers. We might go through it first up there. Big Les. Obviously, the top of the pops there is Alex Johnston, the 227-game veteran. If he's fully fit, you expect him to play.
100% you do. Obviously, pretty much the locked in for that spot, incumbent to that spot. Been there for a number of years. It will be really interesting to see how he comes back from this injury too. Obviously, a pretty complicated one, and I'm not sure how he's progressing or where he's sort of at. I think you guys might have a little bit more of an idea than me. But, I'm looking forward to seeing him getting back, hopefully, to full flight in 2025.
Yeah, Chaps, how is he progressing? You get down to the train a fair bit. And, has he been training on the park?
Not on the park, no. But obviously he's in that rehab group over on the side there doing his thing. I think all the boxes have been ticked week by week. He's not behind schedule. Don't know if he's in front of schedule, but he's definitely not behind schedule. And, look, he's a chance to play in the early rounds, whether it's a round one or not, is another story. Is there a world where you see Alex Johnston fully fit and not playing first grade next year? A little bit like in 2014 when he replaced club legend Nathan Merritt.
Yeah, well, he's a prolific try scorer, Chaps, here, and he knows where the try line is. And if there's a try on offer, Alex Johnston scores it. And that's why he's chasing the record this year. And hopefully he will achieve that particular record. But, yeah, I think he's a certain starter. If he's fit, he'll be on one wing. And, like I said, he knows where the try line is. All you got to do is get him the ball. And a number of them tries that he's scored, I'd like to say at least 50 or 60% of them tries, he's scored untouched, and that's from the work on the inside with Cody Walker and a lot of the players that he's played with throughout his career.
Yeah, one of his strengths, I think, that probably doesn't get spoken about enough is kick defence. You kick low to him, kick high, kick it nice and hard at him. He generally snaps that ball out of the air without an error. He hardly makes an error on kick defence, does he?
No, not at all. He's pretty safe, Alex Johnston, always has been. And look, hopefully he does get back to that blistering speed as well, scores a few more tries and gets close to that record too.
Yeah, he's got plenty of incentive to do that. A couple of young blokes nipping at his heels. We'll start with, the young upstart there, finished the season off pretty strong, capping off a 2-try performance after a tough week for him up there at Penrith Park. Ty Monroe, got a big ceiling, this kid.
100%. Obviously, you guys were talking about when you went to training the other week that he was probably looking like the fittest guy on the park. And I love to hear that too, for him coming in, Wayne coming back to the club as well. Might be, I don't know how their time frames sort of line up, but it might be the first time that he's been in that top 30 and Wayne's been at the club too. So good to obviously make that first impression well with Wayne coming into the building as well.
Yeah, definitely the future of the South Sydney Rabbitohs in our backline. I thought he's had a couple of injuries over the last couple of years since he debuted in that game against New Zealand over there in New Zealand. He's been outstanding, but a try-scoring machine, another try-scoring machine like Alex Johnston, and he's got speed to burn. And I think he's going to be another player that has to be a certain starter if he's fit and ready.
I think him and Campbell are going to build a real strong combination on that right-hand side. They're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, he looks in good nick. Very verbal sort of player out there. Just always chatting away and trying to encourage his teammates in the skills drills and obviously the fitness drills. And he's winning everything when it comes to the running. He's lapping everyone in the 400s. So.
He's got a lot of size about him too, hasn't he, Chaps? He's very tall.
He's going to fill out.
100%.
Well, think about Josh Addo-Carr. He was only a sort of skinny fella. Obviously, speed was his attribute when he was at the Tigers. Got down to Melbourne, put a bit of meat on the frame, so to speak, and finished up one of the better wingers in the game, and still is to this day. So hopefully, Ty Monroe can reach that potential.
Where do you think he's sort of sitting weight-wise at the moment?
I think he's still in the 90s somewhere.
Yeah, I'd say so, Chaps.
Probably low 90s.
A lot of filling out to do, and with the programs these days, I've seen him put on so much size in the last couple of years since he, that come through the pathway system, and he's still developing, and he's going to be one big lad when he's finished.
He's very mature for his age too. You see his Instagram, and he puts up his food and all that. It's all clean stuff, meat, veggies, steamed veggies. No rubbish, no chips, no soft drinks, none of that. So he's very, very well above his years, so to speak. Yeah.
Well, lucky he's not on the Lockie Galvin diet, which we've been hearing on the radio quite a bit, which is the family Macca's pack on the way home from training.
Yeah, well, you got to do that sort of things. I think, I had a mate there, Toddy Byrne, used to have to set the alarm for 3 a.m, hook up a steak, eat it, and go back to sleep again when he was at the Roosters in his younger years. Shout out to you, Skinny Burns. I think he's over there in Israel these days, but believe it or not. All right, the other one that sort of burst onto the scene a little bit last year in a mid-season transfer, Fletcher Myers, different style player to the two blokes we spoke about up top, bigger, stronger fella, good carries out of yardage. Probably got a bit to learn defensively, but I like what I've seen from him so far. He looks really big this year again in the off-season.
Yeah, we secured him midway through last year, and he was thrown straight in at the deep end. Played first grade that particular week and did a good job. Held his spot there for a couple of weeks, and he's one player who I believe is not in the top 30 at this point of time, Chaps, or has he? There's been reports that he's been included.
I think he's a suppo, yeah. So you can still play them in round one. They've changed that rule last year. That used to be called a development player, and now call it a supplementary player. But he can play straight up there in round one. Could get upgraded before June 30 this year to be one of our top 30 players, which I'm sure that's on the cards, depending on how he travels in first grade or how many games he gets and stays injury-free. But I've liked what we've seen. He's got some top-end speed. The intercept he took against Melbourne was pretty impressive. He's someone that's definitely going to be knocking on the door
like you
for
said,
a start.
Yeah, like you said, Chaps, he's got a lot of strengths about him. He's a goal kicker as well, but got a lot of size and likes to come in and do the tough carries, which you want from your wingers. You want them to come in and make plenty of yards, take pressure off the forwards, and that's something that Fletcher Myers likes to do. And so does Ty Monroe, as a matter of fact. But Yeah, I like what I see with Fletcher Myers. Don't be surprised if he's in the 17 come round one either.
I think he will be too. Obviously, if Alex Johnston isn't fit, you'd expect him to be on that left wing. So can't wait to see how he goes and if he does lock down that spot. But another thing that, a lot of people don't know about his game, or if you haven't watched the trials in the past few years, when he trialled against us for Manly as well, had a beautiful offload on him. He's got a really nice offload. Can play obviously wing and centre, depending on where you want to have him. I think he's going to be proving very useful for South Sydney in 25.
You mentioned his speed, Chaps. I think he took an intercept against Melbourne, and Brian Pappenhausen couldn't get near him. I know Paps has probably lost a little bit of his speed, but he didn't make no ground on him whatsoever. So that's another area that you want in your wingers. You want them to have plenty of speed, and he's got plenty of speed.
And Wayne likes power. If you look at that Dolphins side he had, he likes the big, strong, powerful winger coming out there and then taking some pressure off the forward so you don't have to get your middles to take a carry or tackle 3, 4 further down the track. So that's going to be interesting to see where Big Wayno likes his old mate Fletcher Myers. The other one is a bit of a wild card in the pack, so to speak. He's a top 30 member, so he's in the full-time squad this year, Hazen Mellors. We've spoken about him on this show many, many times. Obviously, his strength's going to be under the high ball. He can get off the ground as high as anyone at South Sydney. I suppose he's a bit of a giraffe on roller skates at the moment kind of thing. Still trying to figure out his body, and he could be anything. I don't want to take your line there, Guru, but yeah, he could be anything. He reminds me a little bit of the bloke from Melbourne that played this year on the wing the last couple of years. The big fella, escapes me name.
Warbrick.
Bit like a Warbrick. He could be someone like that. Yeah, he's a prodigious talent. I think he represented his state in basketball for a few years there up in Queensland, under 18s at the age of 16. So he's a talent. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, well, another player that's just filling out, and over the next couple of seasons, he's going to improve out of sight. And like you just said, Chaps, he's got a great pedigree. His dad played for the Warriors in Vince Mellors, and his mum, I forget his mum's name. She was a national basketball champion as well. So no wonder he can jump, the young kid. But another player that's been succumbed to injuries over the last couple of seasons, hasn't played many games, but he'll be looking to get on the paddock more this year and have a big 2025.
Well, look, if he makes a good impression under Wayne, anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose the other ones are more centres. We see them as centres, but they can definitely jump out in the wing. Stretch, debut on the wing against St George. I think it was Sutto's record-breaking game. And Isaiah Tass, another one, who's played majority of his career in the centres, but could cover wing. Could you see any of them blokes playing out in the wing?
Well, look,
if need be.
Yeah, if need be. Look, and we'll probably go through our starting five. I know you've got that question coming up a little bit later, Chaps. I think Campbell will be one of the centres, but can play on the wing, like you said. He's had plenty of experience there, debuted on the wing. Isaiah Tass, he might be forced to play on the wing. If there's no injuries and we're fit come round one, he might be forced to play on the wing because our centre pairing, I believe, will be Jack White and Campbell Graham. So, yeah, both players that can play on the wing.
I think Fletch will lock down that left wing spot for Alex Johnston, at least for the first few games until he gets back. But, look, Isaiah Tass, I don't know what to make of where he's going to be in 2025. I really don't. They've got depth in the outside backs. I don't know. It was strange. He was great in 2023. Injured for a bit of 2024.
Can we edit that?
Yeah, I know. We might have to, just quietly.
No editing here.
It's nice and raw.
All natural.
Nice and raw. Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know what to make. I think that if he fills out enough, he could probably slot into like a edge sort of spot, like a number 17 off the bench or something like that. But other than that, I think it's going to be quite difficult unless there's a substantial amount of injuries in the back line for him to crack the 17.
Well, another player that hasn't played much over the last 12 months. He was out for the majority of the 2024 season, and that's the beauty about this backline come 2025. Even though they've got a lot of experience, they haven't played a lot of games last year.
You're going to be fresh coming into the
100%.
season. Isaiah Tass is someone who's very competitive. He's a very driven young man. He just signed a 3-year deal, so he's in the plans of South Sydney Rabbitohs. Don't worry about that. You look at the depth in the centres, I don't think there's that much at all. When you look at if the two starters, which the ones you're talking about there, if one of them goes down, he's got to be the first man picked.
100%.
He's done the job for South Sydney for a number of years and been very, very consistent as well. And he's another one of those Campbell Graham style players who pushes everyone out the way, or a Tane Milne to do tackle one hit up off our line. the toughest carry in the game is 5 metres out, isn't it? When the opposition's sitting there, shoulders slumped, ready to flog you, and Isaiah Tass will never ever shirk his responsibilities. So,
Well, he's got a lot of versatility, hasn't he?
do they try and use him because he's a lot more experienced than someone like a Ty Monroe or a Fletcher Myers to start the season? We know when Wayne came in 2018, he didn't pick any debutants, no rookies. He played all experienced players from 1 to 17. If that's what Wayne feels most comfortable doing, does he come in and start on the wing?
I think it'd be Fletcher and Ty Monroe, to be honest. Both have made their debuts. Both have been very strong and have shown some really positive signs. Look, Tass, I think that he is best in the centres. He's got a lot of power, can set up his outside men really well. Really good footwork. I feel like he's more suited to the centre position. So, look, if we get injuries there, then, as you said, he's the first guy up.
Yeah, anything can happen. That's out of the full-time guys that can and will play in 2024.
And that's what you want from your squad, chaps. You want a bit of depth, and it always puts pressure on the players to perform well. And it's something that we didn't have last year because we had so many injuries. So, yeah, hopefully come round one, they're all fit. Like we said, there's a couple of doubters there in terms of AJ. But, yeah, hopefully all ready to go and firing.
And we could add a winger or a centre between now and June 30, whether it's that one supplementary spot or the 3 spots available still in the top 30. So things can change from this date we're recording here. Was it the 13th of December, are we?
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some. Training trial. Talanoa Penatani, a guy who could possibly play out in the wing there. I've seen him at training. He's a bit of a unit. He's got the big right tattoo sleeve there. He looks pretty big and mean. More of a centre, but someone that could come into calculations. Another one there, Dudley Dotoi, right centre predominantly, could finish up in the outside backs. Lennox Tavo, fullback, who's played a bit of wing as well. And New South Wales Cup, probably casting Cutho, who we've been impressed with a couple of times, Brownie.
Yeah, we've seen him come through the pathways system, and he's one player that will be looking to improve and play a lot of lower grades this year. And if there's injuries, he might get an opportunity. But Penatani, once again, another great pedigree, a very sporting family. The 2 sisters play in the NRLW, one for Cronulla and the other one for the West Tigers, I think it is. But, yeah, he looks okay at training. He's doing all his work on the field, and I'm sure Cronulla wouldn't have been too happy to see him go either.
No, he's a former Maddo Tiger, a local boy, grew up in the area, so probably a big thrill for him coming back. He might have been a South supporter growing up, but let's hope he was.
Mate, you love the look of Dudley Dotoi.
He's a unit, Dudley Dotoi. I'm not sure how he's going at training, but from what I've seen, he looked pretty good. I'm not sure if the coaching staff are very impressive or not, but yeah, he's a bit of a unit. Certainly built well, low to the ground. That typical P&G bloke. I'm sure he'd be good in contact. Anything could happen there.
Well, chaps, just going back to...
He's no dud, put it that way. He's a Dudley, mate. Right?
Just going back to, all these training trialists and dev players, are the coaching staff just hanging off a little bit, signing players because we have got 3 spots available? Are they just waiting to see if any of these might fill them spots?
I think so.
Yeah, well, Blake Solly, the interview, if you haven't seen it, go back and check that one out on our YouTube channel there. He said, it's up for grabs. All these spots are up for grab for the blokes that are already in the building. Look, they obviously are looking outside to try and grab someone. We'll talk a bit later on. But, yeah, I think all these guys have an opportunity, in particular Bailey Biondioto, who Les has had a big rap on. He looks like he's got the inside running to grab one of those 4 spots available. So, look, anything can happen in a season. I might pose a couple of questions here to the 3 of us. Who's your back 5 if everyone's fit? Don't worry about round 1, 2, 3. I'm just talking about if everyone's fit, who's your back 5 as of today?
Oh, look, I'll go first. I think Latrell Mitchell, obvious choice. He'll be fullback. Missed a lot of last year, didn't play many games, but yeah, when he's on, he's on, and he's probably one of the best fullbacks in the game as well. He's come back, he's leaner, he's fitter, and he's ready to go. We seen him at training Chaps the other day, and he was putting in a lot of hard work. So he's just got to transfer that onto the field, and we'll be okay. I think Latrell Mitchell, a certain starter at fullback, even though I like Jai Gray, I like what he does, and I think Jai Gray's probably got to be in the 17 somewhere. Just don't know where. But Latrell Mitchell fullback. If AJ's fit, he'll be one wing. and I believe Ty Monroe will be the other. You need that speed on the wing. Campbell Graham and Jack Whiten are two experienced centre partners. Jack Whiten come to the club. He hasn't played with Campbell Graham as yet. He played with him, I think, in the 2022 World Cup, it might have been, and he come to the club and said he wanted to play with Campbell Graham. Well, he hasn't done that yet, and hopefully come round one, he'll be doing that. And that's the back five. So there's mine.
I'm pretty similar. Yeah, if everyone's fit, I'm the Trollope fullback, AJ and Ty Monroe on the wings. I'd probably go Jack Whiten and Campbell Graham in the centres too.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same as you boys. Sorry to be a bit boring there. I'm gonna have,
Well, it's obvious choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
but I might do the opposite. I might have the long-term left wing option. I'm going to bring Ty Monroe on the left. I'm going to put AJ over on the right-hand side.
Right, a bit of a swap.
Yeah, I'm going to swap it around. Have him and Campbell Graham working on the same side. And obviously Jackie Whiten, the spring chicken. He's getting late in his career, but he still bounces around like he's a rookie. Jackie Whiten and Latrell at fullback. Going to put the Tari Ferrari out the back.
Yeah.
For sure. He'll do his magic, and that'll be probably my only change from you two blokes, but same blokes, but just have them on the opposite sides, because let's set him up for the next 10 years on that left side. Why are we waiting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's a try scorer as well. He knows where the try line is.
AJ's debuted on the right wing.
Yeah.
He done the, so.
Yeah. Look, if AJ's not right, I'd probably bring in Isaiah Tass, like you said, Chaps, for experience. But don't be surprised if Fletcher Myers gets a run, because he is training insane.
I think it'd be Fletch. It has to be Fletch. He's so good in the air, great offload, really athletically gifted. So I think he'll grab the wing spot if they have to pick between him and Tass. As I said, I think Tass is more suited to centre. I think he's just got a good frame on him too. So, if we had a really big amount of injuries in the back row, I mean, we've got the most depth in the back row, but if we were to have a few injuries there, I think he could fill in there too. So, I think that he'd be either one in or two in from the wing, to be honest. I don't think he sits on the wing.
Chaps, just getting our head around it. So, to this point, AJ is the only one doubtful at this stage in terms of long-term injuries.
Oh, I think so, yeah. I think he's about the only one in the outside backs.
Yeah, in the outside backs.
They're all pretty fit at the moment. They're all been training. Haven't missed too many sessions, that's for sure. So they've all been out on the paddock.
Yeah.
Campbell Graham's full.
Back in contact.
If we were playing this Saturday, he's playing.
Yeah, good.
He's picked. He's ready to go. He's done many contact sessions, tackling and stuff like that, and it all looks hunky-dory there, boys. Look, there's been, obviously, we always finish off with a couple of rumours. The Bateman rumour was there for a long time, but his management is indicated through the press. South hasn't said anything or anything like that, but he's given South the wide berth. He looks like the rails runs now for the Cowboys.
I don't think he goes to the Cowboys either, to be honest. Look at the Cowboys at the moment.
You've said that before, yeah.
And their back rowers. I mean, Luciano, they've got Halem Lukey.
They've got a good side.
They've got
Nanai.
Nanai. I mean, they've got enough. I don't think Bateman goes there, to be honest.
He wouldn't get a run, would he?
No.
Well, that was similar to us, and we've discussed it on the show, and I know there was a lot of rumours. Look, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, and I love his aggression. I love the way he plays. But I just don't think we need an edge back row at this point of time. We've signed Ewan Aiken. He can play edge or in the centres. We've got Schuster there. Cam Murray can play on an edge.
Yep.
Tallis Duncan play on an edge. Keon, Jai Arrow, the list goes on. Young Tom Fletcher.
Yep.
So the list goes on, and we've said it before, and I'm okay with that decision.
Yep.
I just think we need middles more than anything.
Saves us a lot of money in the cap, in my opinion, at least. I think that, we could spend that money on a Matt Lodge or, on maybe some more centre depth or something like that. So,
well, if you don't sign anyone in December, you don't have to pay them the December wage. They get paid month per month, rugby league players, right? So it starts there. So you're going to save yourself another month. There's no real rush. We spoke to Blake Solly on the weekend down there at Maroubra in horrendous conditions. It was belting down rain. He said, look, we plan to have 27, 28 players going into Christmas. Where are we at, boys? We're at 27. So, and he spoke about BPA. We want to assign the best player available. And it doesn't matter what position it is. If we've got 10 fullbacks, he'll sign an 11th one. Yeah. You're going to adopt the Roosters' tactics. They used to have 6, 7 halfbacks in the building. If he's the best player available for the price, now I don't have a proper figure, but I can't see us having more than 850, 900, and you've got to sign 3 players. You're averaging around, 280 to 300 to sign 3 players. Do you go spend 400 or 500 on one, and then you just get 2 base minimums
We were
to
talking,
fill up the.
We were talking about it in the car. I don't think we signed anyone else.
Well,
If
there's
it's
no
not
real
Matt
need. I
Lodge-
think we got the squad's really training and fit and well, and they're looking good.
I think Bailey
just-
Biondo gets a
Don't
spot.
panic. Like you don't in a rugby league season. Someone could fall in your lap in March 28th, for example. In May, someone could fall in your lap.
I'm a little bit different. I think we need. I think we should be panicking because I don't think we got that big middle aggressive forward to charge us forward and lead us forward, get us going forward. And I think we need one. Look, no disrespect to Davey and Shaq and Junior. Junior is still not training yet, is he, Chaps?
He's just got back on the bike. Yeah,
Shaq is still injured.
He was just walking the other day training, big Junior. So he said he'll be 100% bib off by mid-January.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a pretty resilient dude. He'll be ready for round one. If he's full duties in January 15, that's a long time before round one.
Well, once again, we've got versatility there. Keon can play up front. Jai Arrow can play up front, but they're not big bodies. They're tough as nails, but not big bodies. And you need look at the Melbournes, the Penriths. They're front rowers. They're all big bodies that charge forward.
I mean, you look at Penrith going into this year. They've probably got a more mobile pack themselves. I mean, you think Isaiah Papali'i probably starts in the front row. You'd have Moses Leota and Yo there.
Who's the hardest running player at Penrith?
Probably Liam Martin.
And how big is he? That's what I'm saying. Look at our backs.
Not small.
Campbell Graham comes back. He's like another edge or middle.
He is.
He cuts the ball up.
100% we missed him last year.
Jack White, and instead of playing in the halves, he's going to be in a position where they're going to ask him to carry tackles 1, 2, or 3. He will do that. Ty Monroe loves a hitter. He's not big, but he can get you on the front foot.
And you know what? I think the game is honestly moving away from big, powerful front rowers. I think it's moving towards more mobile.
I said that, but Melbourne and Penrith, that changed my mind.
I know, but I honestly reckon, in the next 5 years...
You need them. I believe they've got to be mobile, not big and slow.
Yeah.
Look at Big Nelson.
Yeah.
He's big, he's mobile, he's fast, he plays big minutes. I just think we're short in that area.
Yeah.
I think we need to buy someone
How many
quickly.
spots we got left? 3?
Yeah, 3 top 30s and that one.
So I'd go Matt Lodge.
Spot.
I'd go Matt Lodge, and then I'd be upgrading Fletch and Bailey Biondo.
Beautiful.
And then it leaves us a few spots for the development spots where you may promote one of the other ones, your Lennox Tovos if you like him, or Celestia Tata, who's been pretty impressive at training too. Look, boys, there's some trials tomorrow for the female pathways, the 17s and 19s. I think it's Tasha Gale, Lisa Fiolo out there at the Sharks Academy. And next Friday, 5 p.m, they start Harold Matthews over there at the Sharks Academy if you want to get out and have a look at those.
Yep, all the players will be ready, doing all their hard work in the pre-season.
Yep.
And if we don't see you, Merry Christmas to you all, to your families. Stay safe. We're doing a show next week.
Not
We'll
sure.
see.
If anything happens, we'll see, mate. If it's not Mount Rabbitohs news, we might leave it. But if we don't see you guys, a very Merry Christmas and up the mighty Rabbitohs.
Up the mighty Rabbits.
Up the Rabbitohs. We're pumped. Let's go. Bring on 2025.
Let's go.
Higgins charges head on. Again, work.